Malaria is a life-threatening disease that kills over 400,000 people per year. Children under 5 are the most vulnerable group, accounting for 67% of the worldwide cases in 2019. Ahead of the World Malaria Day, celebrated every 25th of April, my colleague Sam Kalisa spoke to award-winning Rwandan British choreographer Sherrie Silver, taking part in the Draw the Line Against Malaria campaign to inspire young people from across the African continent and the globe to call on their leaders and push for political action to end malaria. Take a look.
I acknowledge, of course, the pandemic that we're in, and it's taking so many lives. And, you know, COVID-19 is something that definitely needs attention. I just also want to remind people that malaria is something that we've been fighting for so many years, and we're still fighting, yet it is a disease that, you know, 94% of deaths are in Africa.
All right.
When it comes to malaria. So even after COVID-19 has passed, we still have to fight this. And it's a disease that can be easily eradicated if we pay attention to it. And I'm tired of young children dying just because of malaria. And I think it's time to draw the line.
All right. And everyone could just wonder, how will this Draw the Line Against the Malaria campaign work? How will it be implemented?
So we've released a campaign video, which you might have seen.
Yes.
Actually, I've been playing it on RTV, which basically features these lines being drawn and various African stars. And each of us are fighting against malaria, standing up against malaria in our own way. So now when you watch the campaign, we ask you to join us and draw the line against malaria. And you go on to zeromalaria.org. And you basically draw your own line. And what this does is every single person that draws a line, it adds up to a statistic that we're going to present to these different governments and show them, hey, look, people care about this. This is important. Let us do what we need to do to end malaria around the world, and especially Africa.
All right. As you just mentioned about Africa, why is it so important for the African youth to be the driving force of this campaign? As of course, all the stars you just mentioned featured in this campaign are all the youth. Why do you think it's so important for the African youth to drive this campaign?
I mean, you know, first of all, the majority of Africa right now is actually youths, about 35 and under. So, you know, attracting the youths means attracting the majority. Youths are also powerful. They have a voice. They use social media a lot. So social media is the way to get across to people now. Young people are also the future, and it is our generation that is going to be affected by everything that's happening now. And, you know, even in Rwanda, 59% of people, young people, believe that in their lifetime we can eradicate malaria. It just shows that youths are progressive. They have the beliefs that maybe our parents might have not been able to do this, but we can do this. So yeah, it's a very youth-based campaign, and those are some of the reasons why.
Absolutely. And of course, ahead of the World Malaria Day, which is coming up in just a few days, what role do you think the youth can play in, of course, calling on the leaders in different African countries, of course, to fight this epidemic?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's apart from going on to zeromalaria.org and drawing their own line and getting everyone to do that, they can raise awareness via social media. Social media right now is the key to just getting attention. You know, it's not just about TV anymore and billboards, but through social media, people can express themselves, share their own personal experiences with malaria. For example, I lost my cousin when I was about 9, within the space of 2 days, to malaria, which could have been easily avoided. So the more people that share their stories and share their feelings about this, then the more attention that we can get, and the more awareness, which means more change.
All right. As of course we draw to the end of this interview, what, in your opinion, do you think is needed to be done? What do you think should be done to raise awareness so that the whole world, but particularly the African continent, can achieve a malaria-free world?
I mean, first of all, we need leaders, especially in Africa, to stand up against malaria and to really pay attention to malaria. We need to come together and find solutions to end this. And the first step is taking it seriously. We need the hospitals to take it seriously, which is implemented by governments. You know, malaria shouldn't just be looked at as a flu or something that is a casual disease. This is something that is killing children every day. Every 2 minutes, a child in the world passes away from malaria. So we need the seriousness of this put out there, and the best way is through the governments. Then social media, just people to get involved and join this call to action to fight against malaria. And I believe, and I stand with 59% of the Rwandese youths that say that, yes, malaria can be eradicated during our lifetime.
Absolutely. And as I conclude on this, Sherrie, you were born in Rwanda but grew up in the UK, where we can say that malaria has at least been fought to a higher extent. How does your experience fuel your contribution to this campaign in eradicating malaria, particularly on the African continent?
Yeah, I mean, first I want to say that Rwanda is doing very well when it comes to working towards eradicating malaria, and I've seen the statistics change since I lost my cousin to now. However, of course, people are still dying in Africa daily from this disease. For me, my passion is driven from losing my cousin Kayemba when I was about 9. When he passed away, I couldn't believe after 2 days he passed away simply because he couldn't get the right treatment. I knew that at age 9, I wanted to end world malaria. That was my dream. And that's what even made me start charity in the first place. Then I started to give out mosquito nets and do little things. And now I want to do it on a bigger scale and make big change.
Thank you very much for your time, Sherrie Silver.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Have a good time.